Hello, everyone, and welcome to the finals of the StarCityGames.com Baltimore Open Weekend. Cedric Phillips and Craig Krempels here in the booth. You see Nick Miller down there. He's in the feature match area. He is ready to watch our final match here of the weekend. And this should be a nice one, as we're going to start off with Zachary, Kenny, and Dylan Donegan. Splitter Gift Storm against Grixis Death Shadow. As we get results from the others, we'll, of course, let you know between Kevin and Noah, Marius and Oliver. But for now, it'll be an Inquisition of Kozilek from Dylan Donegan to get this party started. Zachary Kenny is going to search for land. He doesn't want to waste any time. He wants to get out of here just like we do.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if Dylan Donegan is sitting on a removal spell or two here, he's going to have no interest in taking these cost reducers, and he'll be real happy to strip this Manamorphose out of the opponent's hand.
Yeah, can't take gifts on given, but the hand here, Baral, Goblin, Electromancer, Manamorphose, Grape Shot, another Spirebluff Canal, and gifts. That's the grip that Zachary is working with. Pretty easy keep, I think. Pretty good hand.
Sure.
Inquisition of Kozilek, as you mentioned, can't take gifts, but it can take Manamorphose, especially if he has removal spells for Electromancer and Baral.
And one of the danger situations, one of the things that the Death Shadow deck needs to worry about is when it deals itself a whole bunch of damage and the Storm player is able to just have two Grape Shots, cast a couple of spells, and just have two Grape Shots. They don't have to go for the full combo kill at that point. You know, if you're 6 or 8 life, it doesn't take a whole lot for the two Grape Shots to be able to get the job done.
Yeah, not too much at all. And there goes Electromancer. That's telling.
Yes.
About what Dylan's hand looks like, as there is a Spirebluff Canal and simply passing the turn there by Zachary, not willing to expose his Baral just yet. Zachary being so kind as to play face up. Here's an opt from Donegan. Top card. It's going to go to the bottom. He'll draw now from the scry. And from the opt, he does have another land in his hand, included Delta, so he's on the hunt for that. And he actually has a Thoughtseize in hand too, so he can get to work on this hand if he'd like to.
And then the question becomes, you know, if you lead off with a discard spell on 1 and 2, can he get that piece of pressure on the board for turn 3?
Yeah, that's a real question. Here's Basic Swamp, and here's Thoughtseize. Notable the land that he searched up.
Oh, for sure. He's preserving his life total here.
Yeah. His hand must not be based around Death Shadow. We see people aggressively search out Watery Graves and Blood Crypts when playing this deck. He could be at 12 if he wanted to be. He's got himself at 14. Zachary going to play a Spirebluff Canal. We're going to head back over to Donegan. Donegan to play Steam Fence on taps. Now he's down to 12. What's this? Gurmag Angler, Graveyard down, with presumably Stubborn Denial at the ready. Here's Manamorphose. All right. Oh, boy. That is filthy.
Oh, lucky duckies.
That is filthy. Cycling a Manamorphose and hitting a Remander is disgusting. Now there is Baral. Here's a land past the turn back. Does Donegan have a fatal push? He does. There goes Baral.
And the reason Kenny played the Baral was because he drew another one.
Okay.
But on the flip side, you know, the Storm player's down to 3 cards. You know, they need a massive cards in order to be able to go off.
This is something that Death Shadow does a nice job of doing. It's kind of exhausting the resources. You see Kenny's going to sacrifice a land to get a Steam Fence, enters the battlefield tapped.
You know, without Gifts Ungiven or Past in Flames, the Storm deck is hard-pressed to generate the number of cards it needs, the number of Storm count that it needs in order to win the game.
Sleight of Hand, Electromancer, and Desperate Ritual. Keep going here as he takes Electromancer. See if Kenny wants to deploy one of these cost reducers. And they're a little redundant in his hand right now, but they're maybe better served on the battlefield than in hand. He's just going to wait, though, by playing a Scalding Turn, passing the turn back. Donegan will draw. He'll play Blood Crypt untapped. Is Death Shadow, perhaps? Yes. Okay. like Donegan's play there, too. He could have played Death Shadow previously, but it would just die to a Grape Shot.
Yeah, you don't want the 1/1 Death Shadow.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm going to make it a 3/3 Death Shadow.
Yeah, even a 2/2 Death Shadow is kind of suspect. The 3/3 is pretty good because if Kiihne uses 2 spells and the Grave Shot to kill your Death Shadow, you're kind of fine with that situation, right?
Yeah, it's the entire grip, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back over to Kiihne. Oliver 2's not messing around right now. I'll tell you that right now, folks. He's won game 1 against Marius very, very quickly. As there's an Electromancer.
You don't think he's messing around?
No, he's getting it done. Kevin King's not messing around either against Noah Walker. He's up a game. Lands very quickly up a game over 4-color control. Here's a Grape Shot. He's going to start to now one of them. Love it.
Yeah, and I'd consider that a victory.
Yeah, I would too. Here's Thought Scour. Next up, Big Fish. No, oh boy. Shadow and Big Fish.
Everything.
Yeah. Remand the draw. Not great this time there, Zachary.
It was so good last time.
It was. Cycle Street Wraith going to bring Dylan down to 8. He'll draw a new card. Death Shadow will get bigger. Next up, Opt. And Zachary might want to remand. Yep. That's not bad. He found a Gifts. He's got a discard from Baral's trigger. So he's going to discard a redundant copy of Baral. Now here's Opt.
Yeah, and
here's Gifts. Whew.
Yeah, only cost 2.
Yeah.
2 cost reducers on the board.
Yeah, but this game just took a turn.
Well, you think so, but I think Dylan's last card is a Teamer Battle Rage.
Really?
Which might be enough to win the game. It's going to be close.
Okay. He hasn't finished resolving Opt yet either.
Yeah, he's 1 Teamer Battle Rage in the main deck.
Well, here are the cards there from Zachary Kiihne. You see this a lot with Gifts, Storm, where they get Pyretic Ritual, Desperate Ritual, Past in Flames, Metamorphose. The question is, are we going to be playing another turn or not? And I'm not sure if we will be.
If we do, Kiihne's in a real good spot to close out this game.
Yeah, if we do, I think Dylan's dead. I think what Dylan needs is just more ways to lose life.
Yeah, he actually needs to hurt himself as much as possible here.
Mm-hmm. That'll work.
Yep.
Hiya! Well, there are your blocks. Very quickly sacrifice this. He's going to take 3 from this for sure.
Yeah, this is going to do it.
Yep, there's Teamer Battle Rage. Take care of that. Dylan Donegan's going to win game number 1 here over Zachary Kiihne.
Wow.
Grixis Death Shadow, a big game
fun.
here. Yeah, over Blue Red Gift Storm. It was a quick one. It was some good back and forth, but the main deck copy of Teamer Battle Rage, it's not there on accident, folks. It gets the job done as we go to the sideboards. We're going to start with Kiihne, who would have won the next turn had he gotten another turn. 4 pieces of the puzzle, 3 Empty the Warrens, 2 Blood Moon, 2 Lightning Bolt, 2 Shattering Spree, a Wipe Away, and an Eat Truth. How you feeling?
I like the Empty the Warrens and maybe the Blood Moons are all really strong here. You're just being able to go wide with a whole bunch of tokens is really hard for the Death Shadow deck to answer. We've seen it be good against them. And the Blood Moon can just lock them up as early as turn 2.
Blood Moon can do it all by itself. It really can. We have seen this happen before. Now, only 2 copies, not a ton, but maybe you don't need more copies. I'm not sure how you feel about that. I don't know if you want more. Like, if your deck wants more Blood Moons in the sideboard than just the 2 that Kiihne has.
No, the Storm decks have so much deck manipulation now. Between Opt, Serum Visions, and Sleight of Hand, they get to look at a lot of cards. And you definitely don't want multiple Blood Moons just end up gumming up your hand. They don't actually help your strategy to win or when you're behind.
Mm-hmm.
So I think 2 is a good number for the sideboard for that deck.
We're going to go to Donegan, who's got 2 Liliana of the Veil, 2 Stubborn Denial, 2 Young Pyromancer, 2 Ceremonious Rejection, Engineer Explosives, Kolaghan's Command, Kozilek's Return, Teamer Battle Rage, Liliana the Last Hope, Collective Brutality, Pyroclasm.
And I like a good bit of these cards. The 2 Stubborn Denials are going to be really strong in this type of matchup. The question is, how much does Dylan want to hedge against Empty the Warrens? Does he want to bring in cards like the Engineered Explosives and the Pyroclasm and the Kozilek's Return? I don't think all of those are going to come in, but maybe, 2 out of 3 or 1 out of the 3 will come in. Another Teamer Battle Rage. Maybe if he was on the play, he wouldn't want that card to close out the game a turn sooner. I don't know if it's going to be good enough on the draw. The Collective Brutality is another discard effect that can also take down a Goblin Electromancer. So I can see the appeal of that card.
A lot of nice options here for Dylan, and it looks like he's found a configuration he's happy with. He'll check the sideboard again, but he's finishing shuffling up. And while these two players do get ready for game number 2, let's talk about the StarCityGames.com Black Friday sale here, folks, because it's going to start on Thursday. I know it's Black Friday. It starts on Thursday. Look, sometimes things don't make sense.
Okay. Well, and it's not like Star City made this up.
That's true. I don't know whoever thought to start Black Friday sales on Thursday. I don't know if they're smart or not.
Well, it's just spiraled out of control because everyone's got to do it then, right?
Yeah.
You can't be like, oh, we'll just still only have Black Friday sales and hope people show up.
Yeah. Once people started, people are just like, fine, after Thanksgiving dinner, that's when the sales start now.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We're starting our sale Thursday at 12 a.m. So take that, Best Buy. Excellent booster boxes, only $74.99. We got a whole bunch up there, too. Iconic Masters, Creature Collection stuff, Plane Chase stuff, Arc Enemy stuff. Make sure you check it out. Go to StarCity.com/Black Friday. Bookmark it. Check it Thursday morning, wherever you are. Get ready for some awesome deals. Again, it's going to start Thursday morning. StarCityGames.com.
Is all the apparel on sale?
The Tarmo hoodie.
The Tarmodis?
Tarmodis.
And the Tarmo coats?
Yeah, we're actually debuting those on the Black Friday sale. How did you know? How did you know?
Well, then you're infringing on some copyrights.
Well, not my call to make. I just work here. Dylan Donegan, the youngster we'll learn about right now, is 20-year-old from Cary, North Carolina. 8 open top 8s. This is his 9th. With an open win, it could be a second. Invitational top 8, yes. Invitational win back in Seattle a couple years ago, qualified him for the Players' Championship. He's your youngest invitational champion. He's studying criminal justice at East Carolina University. Music producer, and he plays the heck out of some drums, does Dylan Donegan. He plays the heck out of Death Shadow, too. Yeah. Played a really nice game there. And that Teamer Battle Rage, sometimes people have it in the main deck, sometimes people have it in the sideboard. Dylan opted to put his in the main, and it's a real good thing he did.
Well, and we saw some just spectacular cards come off the top for both players. Which is just great. I mean, the Remand first.
That was nice off the Manamorphose.
It was so sweet.
That was pretty good.
But then, on that last turn, Dylan needed to find a way to deal himself 2 or 3 more points of damage. And there was a fetch land right on top for him.
He found something to opt with, and that opt brought him a fetch land, and life was good after that for Dylan Donegan. Oliver's getting to work in his standard game against Marius, and it looks like Noah and Kevin are doing battle. You see the scoreboard there in the middle. Right now, things leaning towards the team of Walker, Donegan, and 2. 4-color control, Grixis Shadow, Teamer Energy. This is a team that really just kind of showed up and said, well, I don't know, we're just going to play the best decks in each format, or what are perceived to be the best decks. No real wonky decisions. I know 4-color control has been really popular online. Yep. Has been doing just pretty well in Legacy in general. It's actually a deck that I don't know how much Noah's played it, because Noah's played Grixis Delver for so long. So to see him play that was a little bit surprising to me. But then you've got Grixis Shadow in the hands of Dylan Donegan, which he always plays, and then Oliver too with Teamer Energy. Just no surprise there either. So. Some pretty streamlined choices.
Yeah, you could argue these aren't the best decks, but they're certainly all in the conversation.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, Teamer Energy is the best deck, right?
I think it's the best deck in Standard, but there are decks that beat it. But I think it's just the de facto best deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the other two where you would be able to have an argument.
Yeah.
But like you said, they're tier 1 decks. They're what the players know. We understand why they're playing them.
Yeah.
I appreciate the choices.
So it looks like Noah and Kevin getting ready for their second game, and now Dylan and Zachary getting ready for game number 2. Zachary, again, remember, will be on the play with Storm. Don't forget, too, that we've got our invitational coming up in 2 weeks here at the Berkman Center in Roanoke, Virginia, December 1st through the 3rd. We don't want you to miss that. A lot of coverage of it. And if you're qualified, it's a weekend you are not going to want to miss. Trust me. See the team aspect of things. Dylan, Oliver, they're working on things a little bit. Marius and Zachary, little conversation there. The Legacy players, they're off in their own little world. Kevin and Noah are so well-versed in Legacy. They're probably not going to consult the teammates too much. They're going to do their own thing.
One of the things that is interesting about Dylan Donegan's sideboard here is that he showed up with no graveyard hate. In Jerry T's podcast recently, if you listen to that regularly, he's talked about how you just want a broad read on what the metagame is. And when he was talking about it, he was saying the graveyard decks are not as relevant right now. So if you think that's the case, maybe it's a good time to play one of the graveyard hate strategies. You know, the Goryo's Vengeance type decks. Or maybe you just say, no one's playing those decks, I can cut those types of cards from my sideboard. And that's what Dylan Donegan has done here.
Well, maybe graveyard strategies will be good at the Invitational. Who knows? Obviously, we're going to have Standard and Modern. No Modern top 8. It'll be Standard top 8 this go around. But, you know, you are going to have to play some Modern. Maybe you do bring a graveyard deck like Goryo's Vengeance or like Dredge to the Invitational in 2 weeks. December 1st through the 3rd is when we're going to see you, but I think Dylan, he's thinking maybe I kind of just want to get to the 3rd game here because I think he's on a mulligan of 5 now potentially. We'll see.
Dude, that's a $100,000 prize pool?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are we doing in the booth?
Dude, I can't lose and tilt off in the booth.
That is fair.
Yeah. There's a cost that's a cost worth paying.
Yeah, you go XO every event that you commentate on.
Yeah. It's better this way.
At least I think you XO.
Aww. I'd certainly beat you in bingo.
That wasn't called for.
I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. Hey, Cedric, here's a compliment coming your way from me to you.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, hey, Greg, here's a big slap in the face coming right back at you. Appreciate that, man.
That's actually exactly what happened.
Yeah.
That's really good commentary on what happened. Well done.
Yeah.
Here's a Thoughtseize by Dylan. Seriously though, beating you in bingo was great. It felt really good. It felt really good.
I'm glad I could make that happen for you.
It felt really good. Yeah. I needed that. Yeah, I needed that. Gifts down. Sleight of hand probably coming here in just a moment. We'll see. You see Zachary's hand face up. Pyretic Ritual, sleight of hand. Couple of lands. Marius and Oliver, they're going to game 3, folks. It can't be easy, you know that. Pyretic Ritual, I believe, also now added to Zachary's hand. So the hand, not great. Took a gifts. Got some rituals, not much else going on. Donegan, remembers, on a mulligan of 5. He'll play his Steam Vents tapped. Here's a Thought Scour. Actually, I think that Steam Vents might be untapped. And it appears to be. So, Thought Scour, draw.
Yeah, he led with the Steam Vents on turn 1.
Okay. That is not. Scry to the bottom, draw a card. Kenny, gonna draw a card again. Picked up a gifts, hasn't emptied the warrens in hand. Well, I think we know where we might be going. Yep. Looks like 4 knuckleheads.
I'm a little surprised by this.
It's not that many.
It's not many at all. And, you know, he has to burn off a ritual to do it. I thought he would have just waited one more turn, fired off the gifts, and if it resolves, that gives him so many cards to work with.
Fatal Push there by Donegan's going to take care of one of those goblin tokens.
Well, that's very telling. That means Donegan has no creatures to jump into the way of these goblins.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me, too. It's possible he has Death Shadow in his hand. His life just isn't low enough, but he's got Snapcaster Mage. Okay. Sacrifice Pluto Delta.
Sure, if his life total isn't low enough, the goblins will get it there right away, though, right?
That's true. That's true. Basic Swamp. What's he going with? Thoughtseize? Interesting. Gonna take gifts, leave him with a Pyretic Ritual. Is it Grape Shot, maybe? Manamorphose, okay. And cash that in right away. Just found a land, nothing doing there. For Kenny, he's gonna attack. Yeah, Donegan's gonna trade. Not too surprising. He'll take 2. I believe he falls down to 8. Spiral of Canal, pass the turn back. Kenny's just playing face up. Pyretic Ritual, Flooded Strand. Well, take that. Well, fine. Death Shadow. There's a Serum Visions. Draw a card, scry 2. Let's see where these are going to go. Those are quickly going to the bottom. That's a Flooded Strand. Here's a Blood Moon. Okay.
That's an interesting one.
Okay. Well, the thing about that is that Shadow, I think, is still just going to rumble in the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to not attack. The race favors Dylan in a pretty big way.
Well, what does this does do? You know, Kiihne can take several shots from this Death Shadow, and then he can chump block a couple of times with these tokens. And then when he draws a key spell, another Gifts Ungiven or Past in Flames,
Pieces to the puzzle.
yeah. Yep. He knows that they're going to resolve these. His opponent doesn't have blue sources anymore.
Yep.
That was huge.
Pieces to the Puzzle, Past in Flames, Desperate Ritual, Scalding Tarn, Flooded Strand. Those are the 5 cards. We'll take a look at Pieces to the Puzzle. Card that this deck sideboards 4 copies of for attrition matchups like this. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library. Put up to 2 instant and/or sorcery cards from among them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Donegan in, block. Goes the Goblin. Hooded Delta Mountain.
The old mountain off the top.
Mm-hmm. We're getting desperate.
Yeah, and I think Kiihne's going to say, all right, I'm going to just try to win right here.
Well, I think he just might Goblin out now.
Sure. Which, that's a win.
Yeah.
Storm counters. Do we need to keep track if there's going to end up being like 30 goblins on the board?
Yeah. He's got rituals. He's got Manamorphose. He gets to do some pretty nice stuff.
Yeah, and he doesn't even have to goblins. Like he has 2 Gifts Ungiven in the graveyard. So, you know, making goblins risks you just losing the engineered explosives or some random card like that.
Manamorphose. Serum Visions. Yeah, I mean, it's not impossible for Dylan to win. It's just going to be real hard.
Yeah, with no cost reducer, Kiihne might not be able to
like go nuts.
Yeah, Grape Shot this turn. Maybe he will just have to make goblins.
Yeah.
But that looks like it should be good enough anyway.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get greedy about anything. I don't think he's played a land yet this turn.
Well, he has another ritual in his hand already.
Okay, good, yeah. Just want to make sure he doesn't miss anything as he's doing this. There's ritual. There's empty. Okay.
22 goblins or whatever it is.
Well, is there a Kozilek's return?
Yeah, so the options were Kozilek's return, Pyroclasm, Engineered Explosives.
Okay. So Donegan has outs.
We don't know if he sided any of those in.
Not positive. He's got a bit. Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah, Dylan. You show him who you are. All right, he's out of here.
And Kiihne probably said block with all of them.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it wasn't blocked with one of them. I hope it was blocked with all of them. We're all tied up here. Zachary, Kenny, Dylan, Donegan going to go to game number 3, which is exactly where Oliver and Marius are headed as well. See if we got any update on Kevin and Noah, as those guys are battling it out. Looks like they're still in game number 2. A little bit of a long one between them. I would say if it's going that long, it might be good for Noah, but lands can play long too.
Sure.
So no guarantee of that at all.
Oh, no, lands can play super long games.
Yeah, they're pretty comfortable with that. Any changes for you?
No, I like what each of these players are doing. The Empty the Warren seems very effective in this matchup. The Blood Moon seems good. The Pieces of the Puzzle, obviously great. It's a question of, does Dylan feel like he needs to hedge? If he hasn't brought in, the one Engineered Explosives, does he do that now? That card's the one I like more out of these others. It's a little more versatile. You can pick off the 2-drops with it if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he doesn't even want that card in his deck at all.
Yeah, I kind of just, once you know he's bringing in that stuff, once you lose to Empty, I mean, I think Engineering Explosive is just good, period.
Sure.
Kind of want K return, sort of. Don't really want Pyroclasm.
Well, isn't Pyroclasm just...
It's better because it's cheaper?
Better because it's cheaper, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, those cards are sorceries, so it's not like end of the turn you can just make a bunch of goblins and get you that way.
That's true. Plus, Pyroclasm with Snapcaster Mage, if you thought Scour it, is cheaper than hitting Kozilek's return.
For sure.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right. Well, last time today that we'll talk about the StarCityGames.com weekly sale then, because you don't have a ton of time left to save on select Eternal and Modern Master singles, but you still can over at go.starcitygames.com/weekly sale. Check it out, bookmark it. We change the sale every week, obviously. We got that Black Friday sale coming up next week as well, but we're going to have some awesome holiday sales on our weekly sale too. So again, go to starcitygames.com/weekly sale, bookmark it, check it out every Monday at 11 a.m. East Coast time. Save yourself a little bit of money on your favorite card game. G3 is the way to be. We're going to watch Donegan v. Kenny.
Yeah, the legacy matchup, the 4-color control deck against lands, Noah just gets so many more good sideboard cards after game 1 that I was expecting to always go long no matter who's going to win it.
Sure. Just a lot of interaction back and forth.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
The lands player can't just make a 20-20 and just win on the spot because there's too many ways to stop it after the board.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to go long. It's going to get real grindy.
Donegan starts things by cycling a Street Wraith. Then he'll play a Bloodstained Mire. He's going to sacrifice that, go down to at least 17, see if he wants to go any lower. Let's make it 15, shall we?
That was quick.
Yeah, I love it. Perhaps it's an opt. It is. An oldie but a goodie. He's happy with that. He'll draw for the turn. For Kenny, he just started off with a Flutter Train. He didn't do anything exciting. His deck has a lot of 1-mana cantrips. He doesn't have one right now, though. Discard spell? Yeah, Thoughtseize. 2 bolts.
Ugh, I don't think you want 2 bolts in your hands.
Opt pieces. Slight. And I think a cost reducer. Nope, Scalding Tarn.
Yep, Scalding Tarn.
Scalding Tarn, yeah.
So it's funny because, Thoughtseize doesn't, quote, punch a hole in this hand, but this hand, it's not close to doing what the deck is trying to do, which is why the Thoughtseize doesn't punch the hole in it.
Yeah.
So if you're Dylan, are you happy that your opponent has this kind of shaky, messy hand?
No, I kind of hate it. I'd rather see gifts and take it.
Sure.
Because Opt turns into a real card, Sleight of Hand turns into a real card, Pieces of the Puzzle presumably turns into 2 real cards, and I mean, depends on what Dylan's hand is. I kind of just want to take pieces.
Sure, but you now know about the 2 bolts, which are huge in this matchup. Just having that information. The bolts are not very good, but when they're hidden information, they do have some value. You can pick off a 3/3 Death Shadow at some point, or if you go down to 6, he could just kill you outright.
Yep.
So knowing about those is important. But also, you're going to take the pieces probably here, and then, Opt and Sleight of Hand are not guaranteed to get what you want in the deck.
Looks like he's going to take pieces. All right, then a turn. Well, okay. All right, Zachary.
Getting a little sloppy.
Come on, buddy.
It's late for all of us.
That's true. Basic Island Opt here.
They've played a lot of Magic up until now.
Yeah, more than us. That's for darn sure.
Basic Island, I like it. He's planning on that Blood Moon rolling off the top for him.
Yeah, it wasn't bad last game. Looks like it'd be pretty good this game.
Yeah, Dylan has 1 Swamp, 1 Island in his deck, but it's so hard to fetch those early in the game. You want multiple colors, and you want to deal yourself the damage with the shock lands.
Well, for what this deck's trying to do, it doesn't even want to search up its basics. It's just we have the option.
But I'm just saying, when you know your opponent has Blood Moon, you want to get those early.
Yeah.
Because you can't search for them once the Blood Moon's out.
Yep. I agree with you. Sleight of Hand not going to be cast here by Zachary Kenny. The mystery cards that he's picked up are Pyretic Ritual and Pieces to the Puzzle.
Second pieces. And like I said about the sideboarding, one of the things working in Kenny's favor here is that Donegan does not have any graveyard hate.
Yeah.
So he can build up a big graveyard. He can mill over the cards that he needs or have them discarded out of his hand. And once he finds a Past in Flames, they're all available to him again.
And Donegan with a lot of cards in the graveyard. He'll Thought Scour himself again. Angler, Kozilek's Return, picked up an Opt. Inquisition of Kozilek. Yep, Pieces is gone. It's a nice job of stopping those, because that card's very good.
Yeah, that, rather timely.
Tarn. Yeah, got a Faded Blood Moon.
Yeah, where's the Blood Moon at, Kiihne?
Mm-hmm. Sleight of hand. 1, 2. Found a land. Not thrilled with either. Tarn and Vents. I think he took a Vents. Pass it over. Let's go back over to Donegan.
I think it was the Tarn.
Yeah. Blue-red land either way, as here's an Opt.
Sure.
Bottom now. Nuke card. Death Shadow. It's a 3/3. Here's Serum Visions. Draw. Scry 2.
And we're kind of in the situation that I was talking about. You know, Donegan wants this Death Shadow out of range of these bolts, but he doesn't want to put himself in the range in the range of the two bolts.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
He's at 10 right now. He could sack a fetch line, go down to 7, and then bolts could put him down to 1. You know, he's got to walk this weird line right now.
Yeah, I mean, any grape shot is just going to finish this game off.
Oh, yeah. All right, Dylan.
And I was kind of surprised he didn't just search for, you know, basic Swamp last turn and get one of those Death Shadows on the board.
7, huh? Okay. That's in.
Well, if he's doing this, he's got to have a Stubborn Denial, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense. Kenny gonna search of a basic island. What's this? Is gonna be Pyretic Ritual into Gifts.
And he's doing this in response.
Smart.
So that he can't get busted up here by a Stubborn Denial.
Yep. Whew, he is searching fast. He knows exactly what he wants. At least it seemed like he did. Now he's checking out Marius's game.
Got a little distracted in there. Yes, yes, yes. Wait, what's going on over here?
Yeah. Goodness.
And you see all 3 of these matches in Game 3. Just super close. This is exactly what you want for the finals.
For the finals, yeah, for sure. Bolt, Grape Shot, Empty. I think that's Remand.
I think Remand is great here.
Yeah.
Well, if you're worried about Stubborn Denial.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, Dylan very likely does not have another land to play. He's missed a land drop here or there in this game.
Okay. All right, so things get really interesting now. So I think you have to give him Empty. I think part of the reason you have to get another Death Shadow past the turn back. I think you got to give him Empty because you gotta keep up appearances. It's just like I don't care about those. Uh-oh. Well, we're doing things. Desperate Ritual. Zachary Kiihne is very matter of fact with the way he plays. He's like, I'm doing what I'm doing.
Sure. Yeah, now I'm really interested in what that card is that he drew.
Yeah, me too.
Right?
Stubborn Denial. Remand. I'm a Desperate Ritual. Okay.
Sure.
So go again next turn. Okay.
Yeah, he's saying next turn I'm going for it.
Dylan is. Can he kill him this turn?
A couple of 6/6s right now, right?
So he can attack for 12. So if he finds a fetch, he's dead. And he moved through his turn so.
Yeah, he almost moved right into the attack step there, and his teammate was like, hey, whoa. Like,
hey, yeah. You find a fetch, man, it's over.
Yeah. Do we want to play for the win right here?
I mean, he's got an Opt in his hand.
Well, also, he has Snapcaster Mage Thoughtseize.
Does he really?
Well, you can't cast the Thoughtseize. I'm sorry. He's looking at 2 bolts on the other side. It's pretty dangerous to cast the Thoughtseize.
Well, it can only do it if it's a lethal attack, obviously. So, Desperate. Okay.
Let's get some storm count going.
Yeah. Snap. Stub. Desperate.
All right, our storm count is out of control at this point, right?
Desperate.
Yep.
4.
It's going to be...
Bolt you.
Yeah.
Put you to 4.
At least 12 goblins, right?
Yeah. Empty. You're dead. Dylan Donegan going to win this game against Zachary Kiihne as he has put his team up a match. And now he puts his attention over to Oliver 2 against Marius, as it looks like Noah and Kevin are just going to be starting game 3, so we're going to join the game that is in progress in standard. And that is it.
We're not going to be.
We are not going to. Oliver 2, Dylan Donegan, and Noah Walker are going to hug and high five because they are your champions here in Baltimore. Congratulations to the 3 of them.
Great finish. Very exciting matches.
That third game between Dylan and Zachary, awesome.
That was great.
Awesome game.
Yep.
Jeez. And Dylan, you could tell that last turn where he could have maybe tried to opt for a land or something like that. He's like, no, I think I'm okay. Like, I have Snapcaster Mage plus Stubborn Denial. You know, that's ferocious. And I've got EE, set up all these other things, like already in my hand, you know, kind of sandbagging it because he can only go to the tokens plan.
Sure.
He's ready to roll.
Yeah, the only question, what happens if his opponent draws a grape shot there?